So earlier I showed you how to do some charts. And you've got the ability to be charting some of these numbers. So let's pull one of our charts back up here. Let's chart our beam diameter in our X. So we're charting data. We're charting along here. Well, if we want to be able to zoom in or zoom out, that's where some of our controls are for right here. Being able to zoom in, zoom out. What about how long that chart's running for? If I want to take 1,000 samples, this is where I set it. If I want to take more, I want to take less. This is how I control how much data is included in that chart. I can also turn on a histogram if I'd like to be able to see the histogram of that information. So we have the ability to do a histogram in here as well. Let's talk about our logging tab. Let me turn off a chart for a minute. And we'll turn off our 3D as well. So our logging tab. Logging allows you to basically record. Kind of like a TiVo. If we want to be able to record a lot of data for a period of time, this is how we're going to do it. But what data do we want to record? Do we want to record just numbers from the results window? Or do we want to record pictures of the beam profile? 2D, 3D, things like that. This is what allows us to be able to do that. So the data, we can record the data in a couple of different formats. We recommend recording the binary data. That's the whole thing. That's a beam gauge data file. Allows you to be able to save it, bring it back in, and see the whole thing. If you want just the numbers, you can do just the results. Results logging is anything that's in this white window that you have turned on. It's going to save that and allow you to be able to bring it into something like Excel. Okay? Or, if you want to, you can do a column row sum of just the raw image. You can get it as the cursor data, which is just your X and Y slice. Or if you wanted to, you could get an ASCII data. A lot of people use this ASCII data because it's the raw data coming from the camera. And they want to pull it out of beam gauge and put it into their own program and analyze it externally. These files are big because beam gauge creates a big data file. The 2D image, we can give you the 2D image in a BMP, a GIF, a JPEG, a lot of different formats. Understand that this is just a picture. So whatever's on in this screen, you're going to get that as a picture. This is not really quantifiable data. It's just a picture. Allow you to bring that picture into a report. You can generate that report and give it to a colleague. Say, this is what my beam looked like when we were operating this way. You can do the same thing with a 3D beam profile. Now with your logging controls, you can either log continuously, and that means until you hit the stop button, or you can log via frames. Maybe you want to log 10 frames, and that's all you want. Or you want to do it for a time period. You want to log for a 24-hour time period. That's a lot of data. Okay? But you could do that if you'd like to. And then also with your pass-fail. We talked pass-fail a little bit earlier. If you want to be able to log the data for when you're passing or when you're failing, this is where you're going to set it. Turn it on, turn it off. What you'll do is you'll basically create a file. You can put the file anywhere you want to and start your data logging. And when you do that, just make sure you've got enough space in that location for the file that you're going to set. You don't want to be able to be putting a 2 gigabyte file somewhere out on the network because your IT might get upset about it. And the last tab we want to talk about today is our Reports tab. BeamGauge has the ability to generate a report right for you if you'd like to. Instead of having to collect all those pictures and all that data and then put it into your own report, BeamGauge will put the report in for you. Creates it in a PDF format. You can create it as 2D, 3D, on one page, 2 page, all the numbers on one page. Really gives you a little bit of option to be able to do. You can save it or you can print it directly right to your printer.